Have to.
Stood tall through it all, when frenemies wanted me to fall. I ran with the ball, I handled it all. Catch me before I fall. Stood tall through it all, when frenemies wanted me to fall. I ran with the ball, I handled it all. Catch me before
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy back for another Sippy Cup Sunday. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Really appreciate you. Carolina, I see you. Amanda, I see you. Thank you guys so much for coming into the room. We're getting ready to have an amazing night tonight. So I'm just giving people time to come on in here, man. I got definitely a huge special guest that is going to be popping in here with us. And so I just want to again, welcome everyone to another powerful conversation on Sippy Cup Sundays, where we sip, definitely, we speak truth, and we grow together. So this is a space all about real conversations that challenge us to heal and also inspire us to live better lives. Now, I know a lot of us, we want to talk about, the birds and the bees and all this other stuff, but, this is a space where we definitely get real. We definitely talk to individuals about what's going on in their life and how they've overcome. But most importantly, what we talk about is we talk about real life situations. And I got a special guest, a very special guest that's here is Dr. Benita. She's a leader and educator. She's also, a person who helps people in their processes of transformation and empowers them to be the best version of themselves. But I don't want to give it all away. So I am going to introduce her to y'all. So let's go. And I'm going to let her explain all the work that she does all the way from Delaware. Here we are, guys. Dr. Benita.
Hola, Thomas.
Hey, what's going on, Dr. Benita? Oh, no, hold on. We just lost you. Hold on. Come on back. We're going to bring you back, Doc. Oh, no, we just lost you for a second. We're going to bring you back. Give us 1 second. Y'all having some technical difficulties right here, but yes, absolutely. So how's everybody doing tonight? Definitely, if you're here with us, what are you sipping on? I got my sip, and I'm not tripping on what you're sipping. So whatever you sipping on, definitely put it in the chat. But hold on, here we go. Dr. Benita, y'all, back in the building.
Hello.
Dr. Benita, what's going on? How are you?
Cheers to you. I am all right. I'm doing good. And you?
I'm always fantastic. You know me, I'll just be chilling.
I know that's right.
Yeah. So can you just tell people a little bit about the work that you're doing, what you're doing, how you got here, and then we're gonna definitely take a deep dive into some of the questions about, how you got to the place that you are now.
Okay. My story is so long, guys. You'd be better off, just researching me a little bit. But Dr. Benita, most people know me as Miss Benita from the Miss Benita Show, TV and radio network. Mm-hmm. I'm an international media celebrity. I host carpets. I work with Raw Nation in California. I work with the president of the Black Chamber of Commerce in Hollywood, Miss Eva Patterson. So we do a lot of events with BET, Grammys, and different things like that. I'm the industry plug. Period. Like I'm connected. I'm connected in every way, in any way. I know everybody. So when people need to be plugged, a lot of people call me. They call me for a lot of things. So I know, being a plug is major.
It definitely is. It definitely
is. I definitely let people know that because I have so many different jobs in this industry. That's why I say I'm the plug, because I know people in music. I know people in movies. You want to be in a movie? I can get you in one. Do you want to be on a stage at one of the, BET experiences or BET Raw and Cut? The different BET events with Raw Nation, or Grammy events with Raw Nation. Raw Nation does it all, honey. Raw Nation is where it's at. So I'm linked with Raw Nation with Miss Eva. So
awesome.
she's the ultimate plug. Okay. I'm the mini me of her. So
okay.
So just know that, me and her together, we just make a big noise. I'm an international reporter. So I have awards. I have awards for being a humanitarian. I am that's my main goal, is to help people in environments. Our nonprofit is called Excellence in Motions with Carlton Boley-Jack. We try to help a lot of people here and abroad. I have the humanitarian award from Philadelphia from Spire Music and Films for the work I do with artists, for the work I do with people, period. I also have the humanitarian of the year from my city, from Dover. I also have an award from the Toys for Tots Foundation, which everyone knows that's major.
Absolutely.
Like I said, the Black Chamber of Commerce, I got the International Television and Journalist Award. Like, that's major. Like, I literally have different awards for different things. In the DMV, which, if people don't know about the DMV, that's Maryland.
Wow.
That the DMV is
DC, Maryland, Virginia.
Yeah, DC. I couldn't get it out. I was like, what's the D for? Because I want to say Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia, but it's not. It's DC, Maryland, and Virginia. So I got an award from the DMV for being a humanitarian as well. I got the Community Service Award.
That's so awesome.
From Feed a Million program, which is abroad, who feeds millions of people overseas and here. So I work with major companies, and so that's just a little drop in the bucket on those awards. I got more, but I just love helping people. So doing the stuff that I do in this business. I have a doctorate in theology. That's why I'm a doctor. I'm also an independent artist. I am signed. Well, not even independent, because I'm signed. I'm signed to Exennial Records in Nashville. My manager is Carlton Boley-Jack, who also is the founder of Excellence in Motions nonprofit for children. So we do a lot, and we work with major people. We have our event coming up, God's Got Talent Showcase. It's our fifth one. We have been showcasing talents of all kinds. You can be a singer, you can be a writer, you can be a dancer, you can be an artist. You can be an actress. You can be an accountant. You could be being an accountant is a God-given talent, because everybody don't know math, and everybody don't get math. So if you can make math fun, do it. That's what that's what my boss does. Actually, he makes science and math fun, and so he's going to showcase that at God's Got Talent, so people get to see that. The kids just love them.
Wow.
And last year we had the talking dog Tyson.
Oh
my God.
Dog?
Yes. He barks and he tells you, he even predicts. Like you wouldn't believe this. Yes. The dog is so smart. I can't wait. I mean, like, when we did our show, we could not believe it. We was like, this dog is too smart. Like,
yeah, that's awesome.
Like you say, how many kids do I have? The dog knows how many kids you got, including the ones that's not here.
What?
The dog, they said, how many kids did the lady have? She had 5 kids. She had a set of twins that died nobody knew about. So the dog barked 5 times, and the people said, that dog don't know nothing. And the lady said, oh my God. And they said, what? She said, I had 2 twins that passed. I did have 5 children.
Wow.
Everybody was like, stop playing.
Stop playing with me.
like I'm trying to tell you, I can't wait. I'm going to have him back. I'm going to have Tyson back. Tyson has to come back. We got to have Tyson. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's
yes,
awesome.
her name is Cynthia Hunter. She is the bomb.
Wow. Wow. So
Yeah.
you doing everything. I mean, not only in the nation here, but also internationally. Like you're doing just some absolutely amazing work, and I'm digging it, to be honest. Like it's definitely cool to see women in power. Especially in this day and age when
Mhm.
just really walking in a purpose and handling a business. But I do want to get down to the nitty gritty, of Sippy Cup Sundays, where we get down to the real conversation. And
Mhm.
I really want to talk to you about, you know, um, a couple of questions that that have big me, because I've seen, like, I know a little bit about your story, but I also know, like, it comes from a place of real grit, right? And so I want to ask you, just to start out, like, do you think culture shapes identity more than personal experience?
Mm-mm. I think personal experience shapes you more.
Shapes you more? Okay.
Yes,
Why would you say that?
because they both shape you now. Don't get it twisted,
Okay.
because your culture is definitely necessary because you need to know things.
Right.
But your experience shapes you more because of the fact that it is your experience. It
Right.
happened to you.
Yeah.
Can't nobody change what happened to you. Culture
Right.
teaches you what happens to other people, that happened to people in the past, things of that nature.
Right.
We're talking about you as an individual. So if you're
Yeah.
individual, that means, yeah.
Yeah, okay, okay, absolutely. I agree. I agree, because, like, even though I come from, like, a culture, a few different cultures, right? Like, I come from a culture of Black people. I come from a history of Black people. I come from the Black Panther culture. My father was a Black Panther, right? But in
Mhm.
my experiences, I took my culture and then utilized my experience to really become the person that I am now, right? So I
Gotcha.
think that they truly run hand in hand, like culture and experience. But but tips the cake is the experience for me, right?
Mhm.
And so let me ask you, what role, like, do you think that self-awareness plays, in healing?
Say that again.
What role do you think that self-awareness plays in healing, like in your own healing journey?
Okay. Self-awareness and your healing.
Yeah.
Um, Knowledge of self is the most important thing on the planet. Because you have to know who you are. But
Right.
it's sad that some people actually don't,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. So you have to know yourself. It's very important.
I truly, it's so funny, because we think that we know ourselves, and this is one of the big things that I really try to bring aware, like making sure that people are self-aware, because at one point, I thought I was great, but I was only living somebody else's narrative of what I thought I should be, right? Like,
Mhm.
some people thought growing up I should have been a pastor, some people thought I should have been an actor, some people,
Mhm.
because I was talented in those things, right? But all
Mhm.
in all, that's not generally who I was as a person, right? Or some people thought
Right.
I was supposed to be a gangster all my life. I mean, I've been in a lot of different spaces, right? A lot of different spaces and places, okay?
Gotcha.
And so, one of the great things about who I became, once I learned who I was, I realized that I was wearing so many different masks in order to, yes, I like the cup too. I like, what you sipping? I'm not tripping. But
I'm actually just drinking a little bit of Mike's Hard Lemonade. It tastes
let's
good.
go.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Jack Daniels, you know. I'm usually a
Yes.
beer person. I like beer. I like the
Okay.
taste for some reason. People
Okay.
tease me all the time because they be trying to get me to drink
Yeah.
other stuff. And I'm like, I don't drink that. I just drink beer. Leave me alone, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
um, I didn't have any beer here. And I looked in the
So,
refrigerator and I seen that. And I said, can I have that? And they said,
right.
yeah. They said, you can have one. I said, thank you.
Absolutely. So absolutely. But let me when we talk about, like self-awareness and stuff like that, like what would you say, like at what age do you generally think that people begin their journey of self-discovery, right? Because you've been here, like you've seen a lot of things, especially even in the industry, right? So when do you think that people usually begin their journey of self-discovery?
As a kid, a young kid, you
Okay.
self-discovery, you start knowing you start figuring out who you are when you first start. I can say maybe 1 year old or 2 years old,
Mm,
because that's when little girls and little boys start knowing they got different things, and
mm-hmm.
all of that is a
Yeah.
self-awareness. So it
Yeah.
starts at a very young age. It depends on the child, on how
Okay.
young. I was a young kid that I was self-aware like at a really young age. So
Yeah, yeah. No, absolutely, absolutely. Like I think that for me, my self-discovery is when I had one of the greatest adversities in my life happen, right? I had, lost my uncle who was like my father to unaliving himself, right? And so when when that happened, it was like I didn't have that voice to go to. Like I didn't have my go-to person where I could just, I know if I ask him, he gonna have the right answer, right? Now I had to have the answers for me as to what I need to do for me. I needed to be able to trust my own voice. So I think that,
right.
right at the point that we start trusting our own voice, because I guess self-discovery in a fashion, we're always self-discovering, but
Mhm.
self-discovery in the fashion that I'm thinking of is like, when we start to figure out who we are outside of who our parents told us to be, outside of what religion told us to be, outside of what traditions or things, but like who we are in our own choices and trusting our own voice versus
Uh-huh.
trusting the voice of someone else, right? I think that happened for me, out of my own great adversity. For other people, I think it's different stages in life. I think, there's no rhyme or reason, but,
Mhm.
as to why people generally have their own, I guess, self-discovery moment is like when the light turns on, and they start
Mhm.
taking off all the masks and be like, look, today I'm me. I don't give a damn what you think about who I am, but I'm
Right.
me today.
I
Hello.
think
Okay.
everybody has those days,
You know, right? Yeah,
because I
for
know I
sure.
do. I was like, I
Right.
don't care.
Right. Absolutely. And it feels great though, right? It feels great to really
Hmm.
be walking in who you are versus having to walk in somebody else's thought process, right?
And it's
And
crazy because sometimes when you feel like that and you just throw stuff on and go out, people be like, you look cute. And I'll be like, what? Ew. I look
right.
cute. Like I just put it on. Like and you just don't even realize you was still cute. You know what I
Yeah, the
mean?
whole
You
time,
might
right?
not even feel cute. You feel ugly that day, but other
Yeah,
people will tell you different. And you'll be like, wow,
absolutely.
okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
Man,
Thank you
absolutely.
for making me feel good about myself.
Right? Man, I'm telling you. And so that's one of the great things that I love about,
Mhm.
really seeing like people discover themselves, right? People discover
Mhm.
themselves. But one of the big things that I tend to worry about, right, is
Mhm.
how people carry wounds that they never talk about, right?
True.
So many people carry, like when they're not in that moment of self-discovery, they're
Yes.
holding on to wounds that they've never talk about, and it weighs them down, right? It weighs them down to the
True.
point of traumatic experiences sometimes. And
Yeah.
so what are some of the healthy ways that you've known, right, that you've practiced, or you've taught people how to utilize that they can begin healing from trauma?
Well, I can honestly say a lot of people help me heal from trauma, like my daughter, for example.
Okay.
She always told me to speak affirmations,
Mm.
which I have been doing. And affirmations do help. Like people don't realize you speak your life into existence is real. You can speak
Absolutely.
it, you know. Because I spoke that this year I was going to start off with some money, and because every year it seemed like I start off the year and it seemed like I don't got it. Like, what's going on? Like, I need money, you know?
Yeah.
And this year I actually started off with a nice little nest egg that I could work with, to, you know, to get bills paid and to pay people and to do things that I need to do.
Wow.
You know, I said, look at God working it out. I spoke it into existence. I did my affirmations. You also have to know that only you can make you happy.
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Only you can make you happy. 100%.
Only you can make you happy.
That song right there.
It said only you make me happy. That's what they said. But I say only you can make you happy.
Make you happy. We need the remix.
And I think, look, yeah, me and you, let's do that. Let's make that song. How about that?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we gotta make that song. Yeah, only you can make you happy. Yes, that's right. We're gonna do that, me and you. If somebody bite us before we do it, oh well, we don't care. We make ideas. We trendsetters, not trend getters. Let's go.
Hello, trendsetters, not trend getters. Hello.
We are the trendsetters, honey. Know that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. So let me ask you this, because I know that, you know, we've been in communities where we really, I grew up in a community where, you know, honestly, talking about mental health and trauma and, you know, healing and all this stuff, like, that wasn't even a conversation, right? You were always talked about as like, you were saw like less than, you were made out to be weak, or you were made out to be, you know, just, we call it what it is. You was a sucker, right? Back in the day, right? That's what they would call you, right? right? It's right, soft, right? All of that, right? Like, you soft. You over there real moist, right? Like, yeah, right? Straight up, right? And so we had to go on this shell. And so my question is why do you think now that we have access to all this information, communities still avoid conversations about mental and emotional healing? Like, why do they still avoid it? Why do you think that?
Don't know. That's a question I definitely don't know the answer to.
Yeah,
I don't know.
True.
I don't know. You would probably have to ask somebody that's more in that industry, you know, because I don't know why they do that.
Yeah. Do you think it's like a learned behavior that's, you know, from, you know, a learned behavior in certain particular communities that necessarily didn't have access?
I ain't gonna lie. I agree with that analysis.
Right. Yeah. Because I feel like
that sounds logical.
Yeah. Like, right. I feel like a lot of our communities.
One thing I won't say, if I really don't know, I'm not gonna guess.
Listen, I appreciate the honesty, right? Because we get a lot of people.
But I do agree with that analogy.
Yeah, because a lot of people be trying to fluff it. And this Sippy Cup Sundays, we have real conversations with real people. Okay, we talking real raw and authentic. And so, you know, and I appreciate that authentic answer, because I feel like a lot of our communities still don't have access, even though it's talked about in like legislation, it's talked about in, you know, a bunch of mental health groups, right? But it's still unaffordable, I believe, for the people that are actually in those particular spaces, right? Yeah. And so until we make that affordable, or until we make that a conversational norm in our families, we're always going to keep having this break between, you know, us actually healing as a culture or different cultures healing, until we embed it in that space. So that's kind of where I'm, you know, I think that's something that needs to be embedded in every culture, is talking about that healing. I mean, because to be honest, like drugs, you know, and things like that are hidden communities because of trauma, that hit every culture. I don't care if you Black, white, Asian, Native American, all of it. It hits us all the same. You know what I'm saying? It's fast. right?
It
And
is.
so, well, if you and I know I would say for you, I know like coming from your story and your background and things like that, but you also overcoming so much and breaking like generational cycles of pain. Like how did you do that?
Well, for one, I'm determined.
Mm,
So that's one thing you got to be, the word determined.
mm,
Okay.
okay.
I was determined not to be
Yeah,
a statistic.
I
I
heard
was
that.
determined not to be the person that these people said I was going to be because I was a teenage mother.
Mm,
Okay. By my senior year, I had 3 kids. And
mm,
everybody was like, oh, she ain't graduating. She ain't doing it. Well, I did graduate a year later. I was supposed to
mm-hmm.
graduate with my class in 91, but I ended up graduating in 92, but I still graduated from Milford High School. You
Go,
know,
let's go.
they was like, oh, what, you going to go to night school? No, I'm going to school, you know. So
Yeah.
the best part about my senior year, my second senior year, that is, because my first senior year, the only reason I dropped out was because my teacher was mean and she was
Mm,
white and she was like, if you even need 1 point, I won't give it to you. I don't care what you need. She wasn't willing to work with me to try to make
mm,
sure I graduate. She was like, I don't
yeah,
care. I'm not helping you graduate. So
that's
with her
wild.
being, and I was a teenager. I was already stressed. I had 3 kids. I was like, I don't know what to do. So I said, why am I going to stay in school if I'm only going to fail? I said, I'm just going to quit and come back next year. I'm going to just go to work. So I
Yeah.
quit. I got a job and I started working.
Mm,
So the next year came and I was working. So they put me on something called co-op, which co-op, you got to go to work and then you got to go to school for half a day. Cause
mm,
to graduate, I only needed 4 credits. So
mm,
I went back to high school for half a day to get 4 credits so I could
mm.
graduate.
Let's
But
go.
that, yeah, but the teacher, I would have graduated, but English, you need English to graduate, and she was talking crazy. And I didn't feel like wasting my
Wow.
time for the rest of the year when I could be making money helping my kids. So I
Right.
just was like, I'll go back next year. And the next year I went back, it was really dope. Like I was first runner up for homecoming queen. I was the captain of the drill team. I was in the band. Like, like I did a lot my senior
Wow.
year, even though I had 3 kids. I did everything with kids.
Wow.
And I
That's
and I
awesome.
still had a job. And I still had a job. Yeah.
Wow.
And so, it was just lovely. And then I was first runner up for homecoming queen.
Wow.
The next year I got to crown the queen because our queen wasn't available. So the runner up gets to crown the next queen. So it was like I was the queen. So I wrote on the card the next
Hello.
year, put the crown
That's
on
awesome.
me, the girl that had the 3 kids in high school.
Yeah.
It didn't stop anything. I still did what teenagers did. I had a
Yeah.
family. I had a mother and a father that were married. They were together for 50 years, and my mother passed away their 50th year of being married. Um, yeah, so
Wow.
I grew up in a definitely a nice, beautiful, loving home with a family. We had problems and we had dysfunction like anybody else, but
Mhm.
at the end of the day, we loved each other, and um, thankful and grateful that I had the support system that I had to be able to have my children and still be who I am today. Because they all said I would never amount to anything because I had 3 kids and I overcame it all. I owned my own beauty salon, my own spa, my own beauty supply store. I had it all. So
Wow.
yeah. So
That's amazing. I'm sitting here. I'm literally sitting here. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm sitting here in awe of you because a lot of the stuff that we've talked, but a lot of stuff I didn't even know, and
yeah.
I'm just like, it's like, man, like wow, like I'm just like
I'm
so
holding back
astounded.
tears right now for some reason because I just feel
Like,
emotional. Because I think about how hard it was
mm,
for me. I was 15 when I had my first child. And it was just so hard that people used to look down on me and my mom, and my mom, she was a beautiful person and she always was there. My mom wasn't the reason I was pregnant. I was pregnant because I was doing little hot stuff. I'm out in the street sneaking out. I wasn't allowed outside. I was outside because I snuck out the window,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and people used to blame her sometimes and it used to piss me off because I'm like, I got a brain. Like, you can't
Wow.
blame my mom for my actions. I knew what I was
Yeah.
doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So I just thank God every day, that, I tried to be the best mom I could be to my children and try to raise them the best I can. They all know God. And, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
You got to make sure your family and your children know God. Even when my parents wouldn't go to church, they put us on that bus. We was going to church, going to Sunday school,
Oh,
vacation Bible school. They don't
yeah.
do that no more. And it's sad. And when my kids was little,
Yeah.
I did the same thing my parents did. They put me on that bus, even when I ain't go to church. I said, get on that Sunday
Yeah.
school bus. You going to church today. My kids went to
Yeah.
church, okay?
The good
Until
old,
they
that
was
good
old
old
enough
Sunday
that they
bus.
didn't want to do it.
Yeah, I
But
remember that.
and my grandkids, they know God. They know I don't play that. We're gonna know God in
Yeah,
this family.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So I just, it's just rough, when you were so young and you had to go through the obstacles that I had to go through. No baby dad there, no child support, no help. None of my baby dads helped me. Like I was
No.
always doing everything on my own, and I was strong, and I managed and named my first salon at 23 years old. you
Mm.
know, and that was before I even had my license. I was just an apprentice, and I
Yeah.
had my own salon I was running under
Wow.
apprenticeship.
Wow.
You know, I owned my first salon at 27. I was doing my thing. And then
You're still doing your. This is. For those of you who don't know, this is the Miss Benita, show, TV and radio international network that we own. So it's like from all the way back then, like you've consistently like just built and
kept
built
build.
and
Yeah, I
built,
kept
and
building.
yeah, like
And my
mind
salon, and my
blown.
salon is how I got on TV and how I started my television and journalism and all that. I never knew I wanted to do any of this, you know,
Wow.
but I advertised on the television, on the radio, 105.1 FM, and it was like, you got a radio voice. And I said, wow, okay. So the lady, Miss Lorraine, I love her, Miss Lorraine Thal, she was my client. And I used to do her hair, and she'd come in and she said, well, I patronize you. Can you patronize me? And I'm like, of
Mm.
course. Like, that's only fair.
Yeah.
She said, get a credit card machine and do a radio ad. I said, okay. So I did both.
That's
The
awesome.
radio ad, he said, how you want your ad done? I said, well, I don't want you to do it. I want to do it. I said, I want my voice to be heard on the radio. If I'm paying $400 like that, right?
Right.
So he said, okay. So my ad was supposed to be 30 seconds, but it was like over a minute. But he
Yeah.
said the ad was so dope, he kept it like it was.
Let's go.
So people would listen, and I would go places, and my voice is so unique. They'd be like, "You're Miss Benita. What up? And they would go crazy, right? Instantly famous. Like
That's
people,
awesome.
it was crazy. I'm in the daggone city of Dover office doing the planning office where you get your business license at. The lady said, all I said was, I'll be back at the shop in a minute. And the lady said, you're Miss Benita. You're Miss Benita. I know you. I know you. Oh my God. It was like, oh my God. The people's
Yeah.
like, who is she? Like,
Yeah.
yo, it was hilarious. It was amazing though. The feeling, I had people coming to meet me crying. It was like
Oh.
it was just so amazing. When I got on 105, Pastor Shirley Caesar prophesied in my life, and everything she said has been coming true. And she was like, you're going to be on TV in less than, before you know it. So 6 months later, I had my TV show, the Miss Benita Show on Fox TV. And it was amazing. So I worked with them doing my show. I did like 1 to 2 shows a year. And it was amazing. I had people writing me from prison, right in my salon, and just sending me stuff there. Because they was like, I gave them hope. And it felt good. When I first went there with Miss Lorraine to the owner to have the show, he was like, well, what you want to do a show on hair? I said, no. I said, I do hair all day. I don't want that. I want to do a community show where I go in the neighborhoods and I interview people and I help the businesses. And that's what I want to do.
Yeah. So
they was like, okay. So next thing you know, I'm in there doing the businesses. Next thing you know, I'm on Fox. I got all the, it was just amazing. And the thing about being on TV, people don't understand is all networks have shows, but the people that's on them shows get sponsored by Procter & Gamble, Kraft Foods, or whatever company that want to sponsor that show. Okay.
Got it. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't work for Fox. My show wasn't a Fox show. I just was on their network because I got distribution.
Got it.
And I distributed myself. I went there, gave them my video. Asked them, could this be a show? What's up? They said yes. They loved the idea. Next thing you know, I had my show, and it costs money. Okay, so you got to pay for it. Okay, nothing's free in this world. People think it is. People think that when they see people in magazines, they don't know. Most of the time, people pay to be in magazines. They're not usually in there. Yeah, a lot of the times, people in magazines they paid. They paid to be in there.
Well, listen, they give
because if you don't, how's that magazine gonna make money? Like people expect everything to be free, but they don't look at the people putting their time, their effort, their all of the stuff they do into it. Just like like I ain't gonna front. I play Monopoly, right? I play Monopoly Go. A lot of people play it. It's addictive. I ain't gonna front on it. Okay. But people be like, you buying dice. I used to be one of them people. I'm like, I can't believe you bought dice. I ain't buying no dice. I ain't paying no money for that. But then one day I thought about it. I said, it must take a lot of talent to create these different boards. Yeah. I'm on like 900 or something. How the hell did y'all make 900 boards? Like, and so, I spent $1.99, maybe $10 or something on dice sometimes and stuff, because you have to support the app. If I like it, why not help support it? Okay, I like Monopoly Go, so I'll pay my couple little dollars here and there so I can play. Yeah. Because you got the developers got to get paid, yo. Like people can't. What if that was you? That's the thing. Yeah. People got to put themselves in people's shoes. Okay. Most of the time, if I'm getting something, it's not for free. It seems like it's for free, but it's not. If I'm promoting you, if I'm doing any type of work for you, then that's bartering. That means you're doing something for me, and I'm doing something for you.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Okay. Like I'm not gonna put you, advertise you, and you're not but for free, and then you want me to do something for you. Yeah. What? That's not fair. It's not fair. And one thing I am is fair. You have to barter. You have to help each other. If more people work together instead of looking for money, and y'all all got talents that's dope, and you put your talents together, y'all gonna make money.
It's a wrap.
It's
Yeah,
common sense. You're going to make money because y'all working together as a team. But the problem is nobody wants to be on a team. They want to be self-sufficient. Oh, I did this by myself. I did this. Well, guess what?
right.
Go ahead and do it by yourself. It ain't no fun if my homies can't have none. I like having fun.
Well, that's the one thing too. Like, is when you building, you know what I mean. It's like you have a vision for what you want to do, and that's great. I have a vision for what I want to do, and those are two very different things. But
Mm-hmm.
if we utilize both of our talents to be able to come together, now we become a powerhouse, right? Now you have somebody to lean on versus just trying to pave a way that's already been paved, right? And so by someone else. And so I truly believe in community, right? In community building, community living. I believe in all of that. Like, I think that that's one of the greatest things that we, as human beings, right, back to our humanity, have going for us, right, is community.
Facts.
You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? But when we get to this individualized, or I need to be the best at this, or I need to be better, listen, everybody can be great. Two things can be true at the same time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have to necessarily struggle to compete. We don't even have to compete with each other at all by any means. We just need to
Mm-hmm.
be, and so that's one of my
Yes.
biggest things, and that because it creates struggle. Like, I know, like, for me, like, as a leader in my community and things like that, in the state that I live in Washington State, my greatest struggles pushed me into my purpose. My greatest struggles pushed me into my purpose, and now I have a purpose because of my struggles. And a lot of people who have done great, yourself included, from you mentioned it earlier, those struggles pushed you into your purpose. It was like
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't even supposed to be here, but because I struggled the way that I did, and because I went through everything that I've been through, I'm as
Mm-hmm.
sharp as I am now in the spaces that I'm here, right? And
Yeah.
listen, Miss Benita, Dr. Benita, I am loving this right now. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm loving this.
It's
So
the realest, it's the realest thing I ever spoke. You know what I'm
I love
saying?
it. I love it.
Um, People just gotta realize that you might be sad right then and there for that moment, but
Yeah,
pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and move on to the next happy thing.
absolutely.
I'm only sad for a minute. People, I get it out. I'll get it out.
Yeah,
And once it's
yeah.
out, I'm good, and I'm
I'm
moving on.
moving.
I'm happy again. Like, at the end of the
Go.
day, like I said, only you can make you happy. I make myself happy. Even as
That's
a
it.
kid, when I had to play by myself, I made up games in my own head and everything else,
Okay.
honey. Right. My
Yeah.
granddaughter is so much like me. Let me tell you this quick little cute story. So I
Oh,
said,
go ahead.
Markaya, you in trouble? Go get in the corner. She went in the corner, right? She in the
Uh-huh.
corner like this. Do, 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 do. She done made a game up with her fingers, okay? And she playing with it in the corner. Head to the corner still. But she playing with herself. She like, I don't care. Okay. I was like, okay. I said, okay, I see you. Okay, she playing with herself. I said, Martaya, you can come out now. She said,
Yeah.
I'm okay. She said, I'm okay. And stayed in the corner, right? She let
Right.
me know I'm going to leave when I'm ready.
Yeah.
I ain't letting you down. Well, stay there. You want to stay
So,
in the corner and play with your fingers? Go ahead.
yeah. She said, I done created a whole
Cause
world
she's
for
stubborn.
myself. You're not gonna
Yes,
take me out of this.
stubborn, stubborn,
I heard that. I
stubborn.
heard that. So is there, like, was there some, like, I would say, I know that there has been, but can you tell us, like, a couple of, like, moments, like, just like moments that you had, like, where they were, I would say, the adversity shaped your purpose, like the adversity from, like, a specific situation that shaped where you are now, like a couple of
Okay.
moments.
Okay. One moment that shaped me and taught me was when I was 12 years old. Uh, I'm smiling, but it ain't really nothing to smile about. But when I was
Okay.
12 years old, I was raped by an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
So, it taught me not to be alone with boys. Okay. Like
Yeah.
it taught me like to be like, make sure you're in an environment that you really know you're in, because anything can happen to you. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And women got to be, not just women, men too, but you got to be careful. People slip stuff in your drinks and things of that nature. Nothing was slipped in my drink. What happened was, it was my fault. Still, I don't care. You old enough. It's not your fault, but it is your fault.
Okay.
I snuck out with my sister, and her boyfriend had his cousin with him, who was an older boy. And that's all it took. You know, they left me alone with him, and that was it. So you can't do that. You can't do that. You know, you gotta be
Yeah.
careful. But it made me so freaking smart, yo. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It shaped me to the point where that won't happen again, and didn't happen again either. You know, I'm very
Yeah.
strong. Like I'm ready for you now. Like, what's
Yeah.
up? Like, I was little then, not no more. Like, I'm ready. I know self-defense. I'm a licensed carrying concealed officer. Okay. I am a security guard too. So like,
Wow.
so I do have that under my belt, and I do know a lot of techniques that they taught us how to defend ourselves and everything. And like I said, I'm licensed to carry and conceal anyway. So you might get the gun. So don't play with me.
You might
Okay.
get that pew pew.
Don't do it.
Yeah,
Don't do
you
it.
might see
Don't
Moses before
do
your time. You better hold up.
Yeah. So
That's
that
cool.
that really did, like, shape me, because it was a lot for a child to go through. And I did have a miscarriage at that time. I would have had a child that was so old right now. I would have a child that was like 40 right now.
Mm.
So, it was a lot for a young girl. But it taught me, like I said, to be strong and not to do anything like that again, and to, be aware of my surroundings. So
Yeah.
then another thing that shaped me was, I had it in my mind, it just went out. What else happened that I can say that was very impactful to my life? Sheesh.
Well, let me ask you this, right? Now, coming from that, that portion of your life where you've actually turned your pain into
Mhm.
purpose, like, what advice would you give someone who feels stuck in their past?
You just gotta get out your past, because the longer you live there, the longer you're gonna be there. That's all I can say.
That is some of the realest.
That's
Let
the
me tell you
realest
something.
stuff I ever
Advice that
spoke.
I ever heard. As long as you stay there, the longer you're gonna live there. That's so
Mhm.
true.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
so
like,
true. It's like we get stuck in our past. Like, we get to our
yeah.
past, and we're and you once you allow yourself to live there, like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, you generally stay there,
Yeah.
right? And so you got to come out of that. You got to come out of that, man.
Yes.
Realest thing she ever spoke, Dr. Benita. If you want to get out of your past, leave where you're living at. Okay, it's as simple as
Mhm.
that. Don't live
Yeah.
there at all. You can't live in your past. Wow,
You can't. You can't live
I
in your
love that.
past. Um, instead of saying like something that shaped me, I want to just say proud moments.
Okay, proud
Like,
moments. Let's go. I'm with it.
yeah, proud moments is um being a mother, and
Mm,
even though I was young, I was
yeah.
proud of my children and being their mother. When I was pregnant
Yes.
with my daughter, I wanted her so bad. Like, I didn't want to be pregnant, but because I was pregnant, I wanted a girl
Mm.
because I had two boys already.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I spoke her into existence. I kept her mother, you're a girl, your name Aisha. you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when I had her, it was like my most proudest moment. Like
That's
when I
awesome.
tell you my daughter is the shit, like, oh my God.
I
Oh
love
my
that.
God. She is the best. She's a football player in
Wow.
Atlanta. She has 2 businesses.
Wow.
She also just started acting. She's in a movie on Tubi.
Oh, let's
um,
go. Now, the Tubi movies is live.
yes, they lit. When I say this young lady is just beyond her, beyond. She's a military veteran. She was in the
Oh, let's go.
military Air Force for 8 years.
Let's go.
Um,
Shout out to all the
she had
veterans, my
in
brothers and
high school.
sisters.
She was very smart. She scored her 1,000 points in basketball. Her in her junior year of high school, which put her in the newspaper.
Wow.
Like, yeah, she's very
Wow.
outstanding. So,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
very proud
motivating.
of her. And my 2 sons, their fathers, they have children. They both have, my oldest son has 6 children,
Wow.
and my youngest son has 3 and 1 on the way. My
Wow.
daughter, my daughter has 1 adopted daughter, and then she has a goddaughter that you would swear was her real daughter because she's just like her. She played football. She do everything. My daughter.
That's awesome.
Oh, it's crazy. She's just like her godmom. I swear. Her
Mm,
goddaughter is her twin. I swear.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
but
awesome.
she's also our little cousin, even though she's our godmom. But it's a proud
Mm,
moment being her mother. And then getting my doctorate in theology was a proud moment because I was picked out of hundreds of people for this
mm,
special program that they only picked 20 people for.
wow.
And we were in a newspaper for receiving our doctorate. And it was dope. And we graduated from Delaware Tech Community College with it. We went to Anointed by God Ministries College, Bible College
Yeah.
there. So yeah, so it was amazing. Um, so that was definitely a proud moment as well.
That's awesome.
And then Eric, I am on a I'm on are you serious right now? I don't care. I'm doing an interview. That's very disrespectful. Sorry guys about
That's all
that.
right. We here now.
All right. So anyway,
College.
so so it was
College.
amazing to get my doctorate. It was amazing to
Mhm.
do that, to be in that program, to be picked.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, and just any type of just the things that I get to do with the community. Period.
Yeah.
It's just a blessing and makes you feel good inside to be able to do the different things that I do.
So let me ask you this: how with all of the the super proud moments, man. And I
But
got
let
to.
me tell you this one last one.
Okay, go ahead.
Because
Yes, please.
this one has to do with the industry. That's why I'm gonna tell you this one because I've been telling you
Okay.
the personal ones. But all right, so my biggest fan, when I met her, she came to my salon and she was crying when she met me, and I said, "Please don't, because you're I'm a regular person just like you. Please don't do that." She said, "Oh
Hmm.
my God, you just don't understand." And I said, "What?" And she said she was gonna kill herself.
Mm.
And she said she put her kids to bed that night and went in the bathroom and mixed all these chemicals and was going to drink it.
Mm.
And she said that she got her phone to text her sister so she would know to come over there because she wanted to say goodbye so that she would know that she could come get the kids or whatever.
Hmm.
So she accidentally hit Facebook and I popped up. And I said,
Wow.
if nobody told you they love you today, know that I do. And if you need me, just call me. I'm here for you. I was saying something along those lines because I'm always doing something uplifting. And she
Hmm.
said she felt like I was talking to her. So she
Wow.
put it down and she didn't drink it. The next thing you know, she met her husband and she married him on my wedding anniversary. My wedding anniversary was July 7th, 2007. They got married. They got married July 7th, 2017.
What?
She wanted to pay homage to me. And she got married on my wedding day.
Oh.
And I felt so bad because I couldn't go because I was in Virginia. So I couldn't go to her wedding because I was away for my anniversary. But
that is a win and a half. That's a win and a half right there. You won a whole life. I mean, that's
and she's not the only one. I had more people tell me they wanted to commit suicide, and my talks helped them. Even before I had the Benita show, like I had this one young lady, her and her kids were homeless, and they was walking by, and I said, "Come in here and let me do y'all hair." And I did the whole family for free. And she went out and got a job, and she said she was so depressed and she was suicidal, and she said, "You wouldn't believe that what you did for me that day changed my life." And people don't realize a kind word, a kind gesture, anything can change somebody's whole life. She said, "I changed her life." It put energy in her to go out and do something better for her and her kids.
Absolutely.
And then she writes me sometimes, so that's how I be knowing. Like, so then one day, I went in the dollar store where she was working, and I said, "Hi, beautiful." I said, I hope you're having a good day. Da 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 da. So then she persists into telling me how she was gonna quit that night, and because of me, she didn't. She's like, "I didn't quit my job because I know people be doing you dirty." And she said, "The stuff they say and do to you." And she said, and I said, "Miss Benita still smile. And she just keep going no matter what people do to her." She was like, "You know what? I'm going to just stay here and I'm going to keep this job." And she did.
That's awesome.
And when she wrote me these things, I was in awe because I was like, really? I did that? So it feels so good. It feels so good. And then a few times that when people wrote me on my actual feed and not just in my inbox, I had somebody come with a rebuttal like, "Oh, she didn't do that, God did." Okay, let me help you. Let them understand.
Wow.
I am a vessel of God, but God didn't do that. I did that. God put it in me to do that. Okay. Don't take away from people. People like to try to take away from people, saying that they shouldn't feel like they want to be appreciated. It's a lot of parents be like, "We do stuff in silence because God's going to bless us abundantly later." Okay, that's fine and dandy, but I'm not a pastor, and I'm going to showcase what I do because I'm a promoter, first of all. Second of all, I want people to know they can come to me if they need help because I might not have the money to do certain things, but I have resources. I'm the plug. So therefore I can make a phone call and make it happen.
Right.
Okay. So that's what people need to know. When you can make a phone call and make something happen, I'm going to tell you an example of that. A few years back when I was on this radio station working called the Hottest Live Radio, I brought in some people that worked with the Wu-Tang Protect Your Neck distribution label for Wu-Tang. Okay. So I called the nightclub. It was called Allure at the time. And I knew the owner. So I said, "Chef," I said, "I got the Wu here. I said, people from the Wu-Tang family here. And I need you to, open the club up. They want a stripper, a bar. I need a stripper. I need a bartender." And I just need the little back part. I don't even need the big part. Cause see, the club was two clubs. It was a smaller one in the back, and in the front was this humongous club in the front that hold like 500 people, but the back only held like 100 or 200 people, so it was smaller. So I called and I said, "Can you do that?" He was like, "Yeah." I got a nightclub open with one phone call.
Oh man.
A whole nightclub open that night. So that's what you call the plug, okay? So absolutely. and the people that I know that's in my, the locals, your people you around don't really, they always got something to say. But
Yeah.
baby, y'all can talk all y'all talking, it don't matter, because when you can get a nightclub open with one phone call, if you can get some of the stuff done with a call like I do, I'll make a
Yeah.
call. That's it.
Period.
Okay.
That's it.
So when you can make a call, then yeah, maybe then.
See, I mean, when you can make a phone call and make something happen, you connected.
Yeah.
Trust me, I do.
I don't
Believe
care
you
about
me.
people like, I got this, I got that. You can have whatever you want, honey. I don't need much to be happy. I don't need money to be happy.
Hello.
I got resources. I'm a $1 million resource
Listen,
because
I tell
that's how
people
many
all the
people I
time.
know.
I tell people all the time. I say network equal net worth. That's what people
A
fail to
fact,
realize.
toy. A
You
fact.
know. And so
A
yeah,
fact.
absolutely. Like literally, I mean, I don't know. Again, if y'all just tuning in, we here with Dr. Benita, and she has been just dropping some gems on us. She's been sharing her story, man. It was absolutely amazing. If you guys don't know who she is, this is the Dr. Benita from well, as you guys know, we are on again the Miss Benita Show TV and Radio International Network as we're doing this as we speak. So I mean,
Yes, I'm the CEO and founder of the TMBS TV and radio. I am
yes,
yes.
I mean,
And I
not
am
only
so thankful for you for joining my team and becoming our engineer. So not only does he have his own show, he's our engineer. So he's helping us do the different shows that we have.
Yeah.
So we're so excited to have him on. And I am his publicist as well, because he's
Yeah.
also an artist. So I will be working with him, helping him distribute his music, help him get on, because that's what I do. I will put you on. I will put him on FM radio, not just digital, baby. I'm the FM queen. I don't know how many times I gotta say that.
I'm loving it every time you be having me rolling. I love it. I know. You be having me rolling. Well, okay. So let me reel us back real quick, because we take a fishing trip, but I want to ask a couple more questions. I want to ask, like, with all the work that you've done in pulling communities together, and helping people shape their lives and saving lives, literally, how can communities better support healing and personal development? Just based on what you've done, like how do communities mimic what you're already doing? How do they do that?
Basically, really what communities need to do is, for one, go to some of them town hall meetings. That's one of our issues as a people. We allow people to do anything to us. Okay. If you're at the meetings, you can hear what they're doing, and you have a voice. You can go up to the podium and you can talk for 2-3 minutes, or however many minutes they give us. It's like 2-3 minutes or something. Go up there and state what you gotta state. You know what I mean? We have to start feeling like we worth something.
Yeah.
We sit there, we're allowing a lot that we don't have to. Start going to your town hall meetings, and that'll be a beginning where you can see where you can help and be a productive part of a community.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's great. I think that's amazing, because a lot of people don't know, like, that's where all the stuff happens, right? Is in these town hall meetings, like, and they shape where you live. The town hall meetings literally shape and create where you live. And if you don't have no say so, and what's going on in your community, then they're gonna do whatever it is that they want to do, right? They voting without you,
And they got the money. They got the funds. So they're going to use the funds for what they want to use the funds for, because you're not in there speaking up for the money. Exactly. You got to go in there and tell them, no, we don't want you to use the money for that. Okay. Yeah. But y'all allowing them to use it for whatever they want, and they're going to use it for their good, not us.
Yeah, and I'll tell you guys, go when you guys go to the town hall meetings, make sure you go with a purpose. Like, if there is money in the air for something, let them know, like, hey, well, if you need a new community center, right? If the community center is not working, right? If you need, have a community pool or a community gym, all of those things, that's what that money is for your specific community. And as a person of your community, you have the right to tell them what you want
Yes.
and what you don't want in your community. Versus
Mm-hmm.
a new park and recreations, some such and such that don't necessarily fit the community, and as to why the kids don't go to the community centers because nothing fits the culture of the community. So if you want a community centers that fit the cultures of the community, make sure that you're going to these town hall meetings so that they can basically shape those community centers toward the culture that is actually in that community. So that's a win for you. So thank you for sharing that too. And then, how do we encourage young people to embrace authenticity instead of conformity?
Say that again. I'm sorry. I was reading something down here at the bottom.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Because
for
I
sure.
was trying to see if you could share this while we're on. Stream this to your audience. That's what it
Yeah.
says, right? I can
Uh-huh.
stream this.
So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So next
So
time. But I just wanted to
uh,
see. I was being
okay.
nosy, guys. I apologize. So what was the question again? I'm sorry.
No, it's good. It's how do we encourage young people to embrace authenticity instead of conformity?
That's a hard one because young people now are different. They
Very,
they are different. They are different.
mhm,
So it's like you really have to catch their attention. And it's
mhm.
not easy to do. It's
Yeah,
not. Kids are not the same. They don't even like being outside. We
yeah,
love to be outside. We live to be outside.
yeah,
We live to be outside. They be like, I'm all right, I'm in here on my phone. I don't need you. I need my phone. Oh, you taking my phone? Ah, what
yeah.
the
They're losing it.
TikTok. Ah! What I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah,
literally,
for
my
sure.
granddaughter said, "Oh, you taking my phone? I can't get on TikTok. I'm gonna
Yeah.
die." I'm like, you're not gonna
Oh,
die because you cannot get on TikTok.
yeah. No, for real, for real. That's real talk. That's real talk. And it's sad, to because it's so funny that like the imagination goes out the window. And I'm like, I want you to be able to have your mechanical skills, right? All the mechanical skills we get are from being outside, right? Literally, a lot of those
Literally.
mechanical skills, right? And so, I think that I would say, from my heart to the young people is your voice matters. What you think is not
Hmm.
always wrong. You know what I'm saying? What
Right.
you think and what you feel, who you are, is not always wrong,
Yes.
right? And so, like, you deserve to have a voice. Your voice matters. Your thoughts matter. Your input matters. All of those things. Like, hold fast to what you believe. Don't
Hmm.
let someone change your, necessarily change your view of who you are or who life is supposed to be because they may have studied something a lot longer. If you don't know the answer, don't conform to it because you don't know the answer. Wait until you have your answer, and if the answer lines up with that, or if it lines up with what you want, then you move that way. But don't
Yes.
conform to something that you have no knowledge of. I would tell you that 100%. Don't necessarily, just because you don't have the knowledge, don't mean it's right.
Right. Can
And
you
that's
hear me
that's
good too? I meant to ask you that because of my
yeah,
speaker.
yeah. I can
Okay.
hear you.
I
Yeah,
was making sure.
I had to
Okay.
put the headphones for it a little bit. I said, "Girl, stop!" No.
I know that's right. Long as I'm loud enough. I just want to make sure
Yeah,
that
you're good to
boy,
go.
that's all
So
it is.
I want to, I want to ask, some of the people that are watching here, um, you know, but before I ask that, I want to ask all of you this: if you could give some advice, right, to your younger self, right, what would that advice be? And if you're in the chat, please answer this question. What would that, advice be that you would give to your younger self? And the reason why is because when we talk about our experiences to the young people, they get the opportunity to move faster among their crowds. And if you're young, right, what at now, and you're in the chat, what advice would you give to the older you? And the reason why, and mind you, this is being recorded, so all this is live and it's recorded. So I want people to be able to see that the older generation can learn from you two, as well as the younger generation can learn from the old elders, because you guys are hella smart. Okay. So it's not just that we're smart with knowledge, but your experience, it's worth knowledge too. And it has wisdom behind it. And so if you're younger, what advice would you give your older self in this moment? And if you're older, what advice would you give to your younger self in this moment? And so I'm asking you too, Ms. Dr. Benita, what advice would you give your younger self?
Honestly, I wouldn't, because I want to be who I am now. So if I change anything, it could change who I am now, and I don't want that. So no, there's nothing I would say.
Okay.
I would go through all the bad stuff and all the good stuff. I would just go through it all.
Okay. I got some people in the chat. They speaking to us. They said, Tracy Baby said, be you, not who they want you to be. And then Amanda said, listen to my intuition. Okay. And then take care of your body. You only have one.
I like that.
Right. Okay. Hold on. He said a little bit more. Let me get to it. I got to get to it. Hold on. I got to get to it. He said, you only got one. Then what did he say? I know my eyes is getting bad.
I can't read it for sure. It's super little on my end.
Right, yeah, hold on. It says you only got, Lord have mercy. I know you lying, Lord. Give me some eyes. Okay, there you go. It says, take care of your body. You only have one. Eat right, drink water, and always continue to educate yourself. And that's from Edward versus Shake.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, do some research before you go. 100%, right? And you got to meet them where they at.
I love it.
I love it. Well, guys, y'all know what it is. I want to thank you again so much for taking the time to come on here. Like, I really do, because like it has been such a blessing to have you here. Just sharing your story, encouraging the youth. Excuse me, encouraging the people,
everyone
here. Like, yeah, across everyone, like across, and this has been such an incredible conversation. Like, it's so rich, and healing everybody is a journey. Our identities are constantly evolving, and purpose often does come from places that we least expect it to come from, right? And I just, Dr. Benita, I just want to give you the hugest thank you.
You're
for
welcome.
Not only the opportunity to be on the team, but for just taking your time to come share with everyone here the wisdom and the insight that you did with us today. Absolutely amazing.
Yes. Everyone, I look young, but I'm 54 and proud of it.
Yes.
When I go out, I got to beat the young boys off. I'll be like, no, go little boy.
And so to everyone watching, I want you guys to remember this. Your past may shape you, but it does not define your future. This is Sippy Cup Sundays, y'all.
Hold on. We didn't give them my handles. I was waiting for you to ask me, but I just let them know on my phone.
Hold on. I was coming. Hold on.
Was you? Because I didn't know you.
Let me.
They gotta follow me.
She almost called me. Look, this is
they gonna follow Miss Benita. Follow me, babies.
Hold on. This is Sippy Cup Sundays, where we keep the conversations real. Okay. So before we get up out of here, Miss Dr. Benita, I want you to give everybody your handle so they can know where to search for you and follow you. Please, let's go.
I wasn't getting out of here for y'all not to know that. How about this? So everybody, I'm on every platform. I'm verified. So you can go, it's Benita, Benita, Rufuss, Rufuss. Gassi, Gassi. Well, most of them no hyphen, just Gassi. Benita Rufuss Gassi on all platforms, okay? And on let me see, on it's Benita Show on TikTok. It's just Benita Show on TikTok. Because I know y'all TikTokers out there. Yeah, Benita Show on TikTok. And my website is www.missbenita.com. So it's www.msbenita.com. Okay? So it's very easy to find me. I'm everywhere. I'm on everything. I'm on X. I'm on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, I'm on it. Okay. LinkedIn, I'm verified on all of them. Go check me out.
So y'all heard it from Dr. Benita herself. Y'all go check her out. Remember, Miss Benita Show. I want y'all to go to the Miss Benita Show. Go check her out on YouTube, man. Absolutely amazing. I got to go do it. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, LinkedIn, TikTok. It's not a game. Go check her out. And
yeah,
again,
Benita Show on YouTube too. Benita Show.
Yes, I had to reel that one in.
I appreciate you because I surely did forgot my YouTube is just Benita Show. So you the best. You the best. You know what I mean, y'all? So please definitely check me out. It's going down. And please, God's Got Talent, September 26th. Jesus Love Temple in Milford, Delaware. Y'all gonna want to be there. And then we're gonna do a big show with my big boy over there. Yo. We're gonna do the big show out in Washington State.
Yeah, Washington. Listen, man, we finna put it on the map. Washington State, we coming for the nation, baby. So there's no Tri-City, stand up. We here now. You feel me?
And Florida, check it out. I'm gonna be out there for God's Got Talent in Florida, where Relia is going down. So we out here. God's Got Talent. I know y'all got God-given talents. This is not a religious event. It is a spiritual event. We not doing no religion. Religion is out the door. This is spirituality. Okay. We want you to come. We want anybody from any religion to come because all religions are good. If you love God, we love God. That's it. It has put religion in. It doesn't matter. If we all got the same common denominator, we all love God. Let's go.
Let's go. Well, again, y'all, it's been an absolutely amazing show. Thank you so much, Dr. Benita, for coming. Thank all of you. Again, we will be back next week, next Sunday. Again,
y'all thought it froze,
with something special for y'all. So y'all go ahead, man. And again, man, we not tripping on what you sipping. Have a great weekend, man. God bless y'all.
God bless y'all.
I got my mask out in a fast route. Lord, don't let me